What are the benefits of a school nutrition professional in the county schools? Next on Food for Thought. Hi, I'm Jody Rissy, the host for Food for Thought, and thanks for watching. Today I'm hosting Maureen G. Mulvaney, also known as MGM, and we're going to talk about the benefits of being a school nutrition professional and how great school meals are. Welcome to Food for Thought.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
So MGM, can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself? What's your current role and what makes you tick?
Oh, you know, my name is Maureen G. Mulvaney. My mama had a great sense of humor. She named me that so that my initials would be MGM, her big production. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. And so I'm so grateful I've got a background in BA in special ed and elementary ed. So I taught for many, many years. And then I went on and became an author. I've authored Chicken Soup for the Teacher Soul. I'm a co-author of that. I have Any Kid Can Be a Superstar. I have Stinky David, which is a wonderful story. And so I was an author for many years, customer service for kids. But then and nowadays, I'm currently a motivational speaker. And so as a matter of fact, I just flew in from California yesterday just to get here, to be here with Jody. She's so fantastic.
And I know you say you're just a speaker, motivational speaker, but it's international. Like you're just your accolades. I feel such an honor to be right next to you. Like I want to pinch you and say thank you for being here.
Wow.
So it's big.
I'm so excited because, of course, I'm gratefully one of the #1 rated speakers in school nutrition. I love school nutrition. Yes, I do.
Good.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Well, I was going to say, let's talk about that. So why be in school nutrition? Why should you work in school nutrition? What's so important about a school nutrition professional?
I am telling you, a school nutrition professional is what we affectionately call the lunch lady and the food dudes. And why it's so important, and I just want to shout this from the mountaintops. 1 out of every 5 kids in the United States of America, the richest country on the planet, is hungry. 1 out of every 5. And since the pandemic, it's now down to 1 out of every 4. And why I think it's so important in school nutrition, because we are the only ones on the planet that are serving the children of the United States of America and of Maryland, saving America 1 5-star school and a meal at a time. And how are we doing it? We serve fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in the exact right proportions to raise test scores, to lower behavior problems, and to reduce childhood obesity. This is exactly why I love school nutrition.
Yeah, and I think you just touched so many things, right? So let's even start talking it's such an important part of the school day.
Oh, yes.
So what happens in a school day, right? Like, why is school nutrition so important? They go to science, they go to social studies, they have math, but they have lunch and they have breakfast.
You bet.
So let's talk about it. Like, what's a typical school day, or why is that school day so important for our school nutrition professionals?
Let me just say, let's think about this. Let me ask your audience. Let me ask you straight up. How do you behave when you're hungry? When you're hungry, how do you behave? Hangry. Don't you get hangry? You're angry. I believe, as an old special educator, that 90 to 95% of our problems in school are food related. And what I mean is either the wrong foods, lots of sugar, lots of salt, lots of trans fat, those kind of things, or lack of it. And even the rich parents send their kids to school. You're up against marketing, so they send their kids to school on Pop-Tarts. And let me tell you, you're not going to be able to get through the day on a Pop-Tart. And so what happens is, in school nutrition, it is the only place in America that serves fruit, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in the exact right proportions. Now, why is this important? It reduces those childhood behaviors, because when kids are well fed, they can think. And I don't care how good you are. I thought I was a very good teacher, but Lord have mercy, when the kids would come in hungry, I don't care how good I am, they could not think. And so it's hard to think, but yet if you have the school nutrition, absolutely, you get that first burst of energy in the morning. Then they move on and they serve lunch. You have snacks, you have even supper. School nutrition is singly, in my opinion, the most important part of the school system. We're like a cycle of service, and they start that cycle of service. Without school nutrition, the teachers can't do their job and nobody else can get things done. So school nutrition is the key to every school system in America.
It's like the hub, right?
It is.
It's the hub, and like the spokes are all coming in, right? And
You bet.
everybody's critical. Administration, teachers, guidance, all of it is so critical, but it all surrounds, around that nutrition. And it's the healthy meal that they love, right?
It is.
We see them come in, and I know we talked a lot just about our menu, and I'm sure we could talk about it over and over, but it's fun to really bring to the students what they eat on the outside, right?
Well,
we don't serve typical, or often like a viewer will say to me, well, where's the chicken nuggets? Well, we don't have chicken nuggets.
You bet.
And it's not that they're necessarily bad, but there's so many more options out there, and great options. And we can expose them to foods that they might not be trying at home, that they're going to really learn to like, and it'll really keep them fueled.
Well, you know what makes me crazy, and I want everybody to hear this. If I were to ask you, or even your audience members, where do you think the healthiest place in all of America is to eat? People often say to me, well, MGM, it's the home. Oh, it's a restaurant. Let me give you a fact. The number one healthiest place in all of America to eat is right here with Jody and her Anne Arundel school cafeterias. Healthiest place in America to eat. Now, don't take my word for it. Tufts University, one of the top universities in the United States of America, did a 16-year study to find out where is the healthiest place in America to eat. And schools were number one. And you say to yourself, well, why is that? I'll tell you why. Because in the 1990s, we had a downturn in the economy. And when we had that downturn in the economy, they took two things out of every single school in America because we didn't need them. It was home economics and PE, the two things we desperately needed. And when I was a kid, home economics, every boy, every girl in America had to take, it was mandatory, home economics. Why? To create a balanced meal. They took you on a field trip to the grocery store. And when they did, they said, now, you start on the outside of the store. Here's your fruits, here's your vegetables, here's your protein, your fish, your crab. Of course, we're in Maryland. I love crab. And then you take them to the whole grains. You get your milk, you're out the store. And so now that was taken away in the 90s. Think about this. So the grandparents and the parents of today never got that. Never a balanced meal. You took that balanced meal home and you cooked it in the oven. It takes a minute to do that. Then you sat down at your dining room table and you had your meal. Nobody does that today. Today, let's fast forward to today. What happens? Where do most of the mamas and daddies shop? And they shop in the grocery store in the middle. Why? Because it's convenient. And Lord knows I love good top ramen. But the reality is, if you're not putting a fruit or a protein with that, it is not that great. Mac and cheese, not that great. The box has more fiber than the whole thing. And so what happens is they take this food home, and because we're in a hurry, where do we cook it? In the microwave. Now let me get this straight. We're afraid to death, scared to death that North Korea is going to nuke us, and yet we take our food home and put it in the nuke machine every single day, and we're nuking ourselves from the inside. So what I say to you, I use my nuke machine as a storage cabinet. So when we took away the balanced meal of fruits, vegetables, whole grain protein, and milk, we didn't know how to do that. But here's why school nutrition is so powerful and important. Whether we like it or not, Mrs. Obama decided she knew some of these facts, that 1 out of every 5 kids in America was hungry. And she thought we needed to do better. She went to the USDA, and the USDA mandated for school nutrition, we must, by law, serve fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in the exact right proportions. Now, what does that do? It raises those test scores so that the kids come in, they now feel full, but they can think. We serve all kinds of things, blueberries, and when we're getting ready for testing, because it makes that brain power go up. And we serve it in the right proportions. There's not a family in America today that has the time and or that remembers how to serve fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein, and milk in those exact right proportions, because obesity is absolutely through the ceiling. CDC, which is Center for Control, says that this breaks your heart.
Yeah.
And I am a little bit of a crybaby because I want your audience to understand 1 out of every 3 kids in the United States of America born after 2000 will have, not could be, would be, will have diabetes. Now, the only one paying attention to this is school nutrition. Why is that? Because school nutrition knows we must serve fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in the exact right proportions. So if you're having any thoughts about should my kids be eating at the school, let me say, yes, send your kids to school and let them eat the breakfast, the lunch, and the supper, because you are going to get the exact right proportions.
Yeah.
So I love school nutrition.
No, I think and I think the whole field is so exciting, right? So you just hit on so many things that we do in Anne Arundel County Public Schools, right? So many. So we could go all the way back, right? I've been here many, many years. And one thing we always focus on is filling their tray, filling their plate with fruits and vegetables, right? So when students come through, and I say it on the show all the time for our viewers, when their child comes through, they can take a strawberry cup, they could have a banana, they can have a clementine, they could have carrot sticks, they could have cauliflower florets, broccoli florets. It's just a wonderful way to put those extra fruits and vegetables right on their tray, fill it up, right? Half of it is gonna be full or more, and that's just extra fuel for their brain, fuel for their soul, and it really, we think it gets them excited to go home and talk about it. So our little tagline is that we cultivate communities of wellness, right?
Well, that is perfect.
What a better way to have little MGM comes into our line and she tries some cherry tomatoes today, and you might even be trying for the first time a clementine. You get to go home and say to your mom or your dad or your aunt or your uncle or grandma or grandpa and say, I just had cauliflower. It was delicious today and I loved the grape tomatoes. So it's like education. We're not the science. We're not the math, but we're educating on great nutrition every day, every single day.
Here's why that's so powerful and so important. And people are missing this. See, before, when I was growing up, we had, nobody wore seatbelts. If your daddy wanted to go out on a Sunday drive, you went in the truck. Where'd you go in the truck? The flatbed. No seatbelts back there. But too many kids and too many people were dying, so the U.S. government had to step in and say, hey, we're going to stop that. Everybody's going to wear a seatbelt. Well, they went to the teachers. They begged them to do this. So we had teachers that said, well, it's not my curriculum, but I'll do it anyway. They did it, and we learned buckle up for safety, buckle up, and today we do. But fast forward to today, it's always the kids teach the parents teach the community changes the nation. So fast forward, so that's how it works. So here we've got school nutrition, taking these children, giving them those clementines, giving them those cherry tomatoes. You don't think that they're going home, Mama? We had avocado at school today. I really like avocado. Are we going to get avocado? The kids will teach the parents. The parents will then go to the community and buy those avocados and those cherry tomatoes, and then we change the nation. We have got to get this under control right now. Our obesity rate is through the ceiling. When I went to school, there was very little perceivable obesity in any of the states. Nowadays, by 2020, we have now every state in the United States of America is obese, the entire state. And 50% of the entire state of Maryland is obese. When you have 50% of your state obese, it's not just Maryland, let me assure you, it's virtually half of the country, very few states. Colorado is the best in there only because they're 30% obese, the entire state. When you have that kind of obesity, what happens? Healthcare costs go through the ceiling. So when that happens, because it just means heart disease, cancer, diabetes, school nutrition is the only one in the nation paying attention to this so that we can train the children who will then take it home and teach the parents, who will then change the community, which changes the nation. And we've got to get this under control because there's no health care that's going to be able to handle this kind of diabetes coming at you. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So that's why I love school nutrition.
Yeah. And we're doing it one student at a time, right?
You
One
bet.
student at a time, one school at a time, and then ultimately the whole community. And it's funny, you talk about the, pre-portions, right? Or that things have to be right portions, and it's a fruit, a vegetable, right? The whole thing. When my children were small, and my husband's awesome, right? So we cook as a family, we eat as a family. A lot of discussion happens at that kitchen table. So, my comment always to somebody listening is, do it. Sit down with your children today, right? And talk at dinner, talk at breakfast, talk about how the day was or what you're planning to do for the day. But my husband would always do little pre-portions. So even their grapes, he used to peel so they didn't have too much skin when they were really, really tiny. But I think daycare would always laugh because I was the registered dietitian coming in and my kid had all these there was a little portion of meat, a little bit of a grain, a little bit of a fruit, and a little bit of vegetables. So it's funny to think, I went to school for a registered dietitian. I do it at home as a family, like even when they were small. And like here, we're still talking about how great the meals are, but they are proportionately, portion size correct, nutrition packed, and they taste great. That's most importantly, they taste great.
Well, it's because the consistency that y'all have. There it is. We got healthy meals that taste great. You cannot, at home, we just don't have the time. We try, Lord knows we try, but we absolutely don't have that kind of time. And the fact that you as a dietitian and here's the other thing that people are missing. When you buy that fast food, and when you buy the things out, I guarantee you, we don't have a fryer in all of America, in any school in America. There's not one fryer. And yet, these kids are going home. I saw it at the McDonald's, at that Chick-fil-A. The lineup is outrageous. And what are they eating? French fries, French fries, French fries, French fries, French fries. This is what I call death sticks. They're called death sticks in my mind because those French fries are killing America, absolutely, causing that obesity to go up. So if we bring it back down to school nutrition, if every mom and daddy said, hey, let's eat at school because they're doing it right, they've got the time to do it right, they're making it exceptionally nutritious, but it's delicious, the kids are talking about it, let's do that. And here's the other thing that makes me so happy. Every dime you spend at that grocery store, it goes off if you're buying them Lunchables. And I guarantee you the box has more fiber than the Lunchable because it's filled with sugar and salt. Don't even think about touching them. And so, but that money goes to Oscar Mayer, and Oscar Mayer is located in Illinois. That's not Maryland. If you want the money to stay in Maryland, buy the school breakfast, the school lunch, and the school dinner because every penny stays right here in Anne Arundel County. Right. Every single penny. So it's nutritious, it's delicious, and we keep the money here
and
with us.
Yeah, and cost effective, right?
Cost
it really
effective.
Is everything.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about our staff. We have the best staff, I think, in the country. Now, you travel the country, and I'm sure you see great staff. I can't wait to just show you the rest of Anne Arundel County, right? So I say it all the time. It's been a really, really tough few years, right? Pre-pandemic, I thought we were awesome and we did all those great things. In the pandemic, our staff literally were rock stars. They were on that, curbside on day one. They never missed a beat. So I think I'm the most fortunate school food service director in the country because I have the best team. And we have a lot of slogans, or we have hashtags that we use with our staff. So we say how we are better together, right? Hashtag we are better together, because we know we are. We're stronger as a unit. We use that we're hashtag AACPS awesome, because we know we're awesome and we think we're better than everybody else. And I think they should hold that honor. But, what are you seeing? Or like when you're traveling, and I think even a little bit of what you've seen in Anne Arundel, like what do you see? What's the climate of our staff who are hashtag AACPS awesome?
Well, let's just be truthful about it. They are superstars. What are you going to kid me? Superstars. You've got some of the best in the best. And so, but here's what I'd like to do. Let's increase our team. Let's increase your team. I think on on Team Awesome, and the superstars that we have in Anne Arundel County, let's add the parents, the teachers, the administration. Everybody should be on Team Awesome. And why? Because we're saving the children of Maryland. Every school meal is a 5-star meal, fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in the exact right proportions to raise test scores, lower behavior problems, and reduce childhood obesity. I want everybody to know that. I want everybody to be able to say that. And when our parents are involved, when we bring them into our school, and this is what's so wonderful. They were home with their kids over that pandemic. And you mamas and daddies, I know you're ready to get out and do something fun. Why don't you join Team Awesome? We are looking for a few happy people that love children, that want to save the children of Maryland with fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk. And we need you. So if you're thinking you'd like to do something for a couple of hours, 2-3 hours a day, here's the place, because you can be with your kids, you can learn this stuff, because all you need is a smile. Our team will teach you everything else. I love it. So you bring your smile, and you can get out of that house, earn a couple of bucks, and do something that is absolutely purposeful. Saving the children of Maryland. I don't know of anything more important than that.
And make a difference, right?
Yes.
We say it every day to the staff. Thank you for making a difference.
Bingo.
I think every student comes through that line, or we hope every student, right? I mean, obviously there are some students that don't come through and eat with us, but I love that you could be in a school, you could be in a high school, and every single student that comes through knows they'll be, hi, Miss, Miss Thompson, Miss, Betty, Miss whomever. They get to know each other. So there's a relationship that happens every single day. They know it's the same person. They know they get the big smile. They know they get the great tasting food. So it's truly, I think it's the best place to work ever. I came here many, many years ago, over 29 years ago. And I said to myself, I don't know, I want to be able to make a difference. I want to be able to do something with students. I really want to get this team to just do all these great things. And they were great when I came here. And they're so much better. And I think the collaboration, the partnership that we have with the rest of the school environment, and the difference that they make for every child, like, it touches your heart. It fuels your soul. I say it every time I'm out there. I just have to see one more youngster go through, and they could have their tray so heavy, full of those fruits and vegetables, and they could give you that big smile, and I'm sold. I'm done. I love it here, and I want everybody to come work right here in Anne Arundel County.
Because this isn't a job. This is purpose. Saving America one 5-star school meal at a time. It doesn't get better than that. I don't care what country you come from. It's a 5-star meal when you serve fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk. That's a 5-star meal anywhere in the world. And the fact that you consistently serve it, you make it so nutritious, but you make it so delicious. And others are here. So you don't serve this, here it is. You serve it with a smile, because customer service for kids is everything. Because we can present the food, but if they're not happy, if they don't like this, and they don't want to come through that line. So what makes you so different is the fact that everybody who works here wants to work here. This isn't a job. This is a mission. This is my purpose. And so that's who we're looking for. Happy people. I can teach you the skills of cooking and serving and cashiering. I can teach you those skills. Those are just tasks. But to touch the heart, we're looking for people that will say, I love my kids, and I want them to do the best they can. And I know it always starts in school nutrition. It starts with that breakfast. They can get through the day. The lunch, they can get through the rest of the day. Then the supper and these things, it helps them to think better. They take that home to the parents, who are then going to change the community, who then change the nation. If we don't get this under control by 2030, they're saying 60% of the United States of America, in every state, is going to be obese. There's no system that's going to be able to contain that.
Well, we're going to keep fighting that one in
Bingo.
Maryland.
It is
and
Maryland.
in Anne Arundel County, for sure. Yes.
Bingo.
So, I think you've said so much, right? And I just think I love your passion. I just love there's something inside and it comes from your heart. And you said that even about like a viewer watching right now, right? If they want to make a difference in that schoolhouse, call us up, right? Call and say, we want to come and make a difference with you. We want to be part of that team, right? We want them side by side. We'll train them. Is it crazy? Sometimes it's busy. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's crazy fun, but it's busy. It's fast. I mean, there's days I come to work and I'm like, I'm here for work. And then before you know it, I'm like, I got to go home. It's time to go home.
Where'd the day go? And that's what you're looking for. The fact that you have that passion and to give people that sense of you work with your children, you see them coming through the line, you get the same holidays that they get, you get the same time off, and there's something about having that passion of saving 1 out of every 5 kids in America is hungry. It's happening here in Anne Arundel County, and it's 1 out of every 4 now. And I don't know of anyone that wouldn't say, well, what I want to do is save the children of America. I want to excel and help them inspire excellence to transform the lives, and by teaching them the foods that are going to make them healthy, that are going to be nutritious, that are going to be delicious. That's what we're all about. And they will take that home. They will take it home and say, Mama, they had salad, we had salad. You should see the salad bar that we had at school today. Can we have a salad bar? And all of a sudden, the parents are going to the store, buying a little bit different and making things different. And that's what we're looking for.
And we're changing the next leadership, right?
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
We're embracing them and we're, we're empowering them to make a difference today because they're going to make it moving forward, and they're going to do it for their children.
Yes.
And then their children will do it for their grandchildren. So all in all, it's just, it's really a win-win, and to work for us in Anne Arundel County would be phenomenal. So like you said, I hope everybody watching applies today. We only have about a minute left, a little bit more than a minute. So if somebody wanted to find out more about MGM, what do they do?
Well, because it's so easy, my name is MGM. My website is mgmsuperstar.com. And I do have YouTube. So YouTube MGM Superstar 123, I think it is. And so you can, and if you want to send me an email, it's mgm@mgmsuperstar.com. I have to say thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama, for naming me this because it worked out real good for me.
Well, thank you. Your positive nature is just infectious. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being in Anne Arundel County.
Oh, I love school nutrition, but you've got one of the best here in Anne Arundel County. If you haven't noticed, she's one of the top in the nation. So let me say thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so appreciative for all you do, and it is saving America one 5-star meal at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, MGM. As you can see, MGM is passionate about school meals and about being a school nutrition professional. If you have any questions about the school meals program, please call me at 410-222-5900. I hope to see you on our payroll and working with Anne Arundel County really soon. Join me next time on Food for Thought.